When I think about ways that I've had a positive impact as a music teacher, one specific memory comes to mind. There was a young 9th grade orchestra student in 2007 that sat in my orchestra class and observed everything that was going on. But initially, he didn't say very much. However, as the year progressed, Alex became much more involved and much more comfortable with the process. It was then that Alex McConnell came to me and had this discussion with me.
So I remember very vividly in 9th grade, I didn't have many friends. I actually got picked on a lot in school. Mr. B had a way of making me feel like a part of a community. I sat there the first few months of 9th grade, and then I finally really began to trust him. And the thing that I saw in him, what he did with every single person in our orchestra, was he found one way to connect with every student. He had a separate connection with each and every student in a different way. And I really saw what he was for me. He was a role model. He was even a father figure in a way. And he had a way of creating a sense of community and family. And in times when I didn't feel like I had one for myself, I always had one at Grassfield. I always had one to come back to. And I really think that he had this talent, this gift of giving to people just selflessly. And I feel like he gave that gift to me. I feel like he really taught me how music helps basically everything. And that's when I decided, I went up to him, I said, Mr. V, I want to be you when I grow up. I knew that I wanted to be a music teacher so I could give back what I had been given. And I am just finishing my sophomore year at George Mason, and I have never been happier with my decision.
It's been said that imitation is the highest form of flattery. And this experience with Alex McConnell has been life-altering for me and for Alex. As I reflect on the concept of making a measurable difference in the life of students, I think that the most difficult thing is to measure, or to be able to take data on how you're making a difference. Sure, students come to me and they say, "You've made a huge difference in my life," and that's amazing, but measuring it in any other way is really difficult. To answer this question, I don't need to look any further than Gabri Williams. Gabri is a student that I had the opportunity and pleasure to take with me to an orphanage in Tanzania, East Africa. This trip had 8 of my students, and the purpose was to work with the Maasai warriors and to spend time in an orphanage in Arusha, Tanzania. We were taking music to a place that had never heard a violin before, which was way cool for us. Gabri had the awesome privilege of speaking and playing her violin in the orphanage. This story could end here and it would be an aha moment, but it doesn't end here. You see, the awesome thing about Gabri is that she was an orphan herself.
My daughter was adopted from Romania at the age of 5, and it quickly became apparent to us that music was a balm to her very scarred being. She started violin at the age of 5 and continued to study up until high school. We then moved her from a private school to Grassfield High School because we had heard in the community about an awesome orchestra teacher named Mr. V and his charismatic rapport with the students there. He filled Gabri with hope and a myriad of reasons to embrace all of life and to carry her music to the world and to the lives of others. She finished school with the offer that Mr. V would provide her with 100 violins to carry to a third world country to teach orphans. Gabri just finished her first year in college, and today, as I write this message, my daughter is in Romania, returning to her birth village, where she will be playing her violin tomorrow at the orphanage where she spent the first 5 years of her life.
A lasting impression? I believe that it was this global experience that gave Gabri the courage to bring a sense of completeness to her life. Awesome things happened in all 8 of those students that year.
Mr. V has taught me that music can be a glimpse into someone's life, and more importantly, a pathway and a tool to break down barriers, whether that is language barriers or those built around one's heart.
You see, music needs to be involved in every child's life. Whether I'm sending teachers to an orphanage in a distant place or teaching my 9th graders to shift into 3rd position, I believe the calling on my life is to make sure that every student has a chance to dream, to be creative, and to believe that they can make a difference every day in the lives of someone, somewhere. We are part of a much bigger life, and music is the key that we have to unlock that life.